Hi, I'm Shelly Eldridge, Superstar Director from Troop, Texas. I'm so excited to be here talking with you about coaching your team. Let's dive in. The definition of a coach is one who instructs, directs, or prompts. It's more than just telling. So often, we as leaders just want to sit there and tell people, here's a laundry list of things that you can do to achieve everything you want out of your business. But most of the time, that isn't super helpful for the other person because maybe they don't want to do any of those things. So putting your coaching hat on really helps you help your teammates. So as the leader and coach of your team, your job is to listen, guide, train, and support. Now let's break it down. First, listen. Always ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more you understand what your teammate wants from their business. Sample questions are, what are their goals? How are they achieving those goals? What have they done so far to reach those goals? What do they want from their business? Those are just a few sample questions. Now you can ask those questions and then you're like, okay, got it. Now let me tell you, right? We want to jump back in and tell them what to do. But resist that. Just keep asking questions. The best coaching I've ever received is from someone who just kept asking the questions. Even though it got really awkward and there was deafening silence waiting for her to answer, she just kept asking the same question. I'm like, I don't know. But guess what? I eventually got to the answer that I needed to hear. So a question could be, what are your goals? Okay, awesome. What have you done so far to achieve those goals? What has worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? Just keep asking the questions. And then if they get stuck, sometimes we can give them a little bit of training, a little bit of mentoring, but just keep asking those questions. This is especially fun with seasoned consultants because they've been around a while and they know. But it works great for beginner and seasoned consultants. And these answers will change over time. You can coach someone and you can talk to them a couple of years from now and you might get different answers. Get to know your people. Knowing what each person on your team wants is super helpful to you and how you know what training and advice and help that you need to give. Create relationships. When you have a relationship with the people on your team and you know what drives them and what gets them excited, it creates this amazing community that they want to be a part of. Help them know what they need and not what you need. Always go in with everything, every training, every incentive, anything that you're wanting to do for your team, do it for them, not you. You will be way more successful long term if you are being the leader for them. Even when you're in an incentive period and you're trying to earn an incentive, it's so important to go, okay, I really want to earn this incentive. This is my amazing goal. But if you're just pushing it on them to earn it for you because you need them to achieve this, it doesn't get them excited. Find out what gets them excited about their business and help them achieve that. Then it helps you achieve your goals. Next, guide. Guide your teamies to the tools that they need. Training center, we have an amazing workstation. If you have a Facebook team or group page, there's the amazing news tab. You can use Google, even the catalog. I go to the catalog all the time to answer so many questions I've got. The PWS, personal website. If they choose not to have one, you can Go on just the Scentsy.com website, and there's so many things that they need to learn how to search for, like a new dish for a warmer. Go in, show them how to search if someone's looking for lavender. Use that search bar, lavender, and it'll bring up all of the items and products that we have that have lavender in it. That's a huge tool to use. There's other places where they can get other tools. Social media has endless amounts of places that they can go. Show them and guide them to those tools. And it's easy just to show it or post it and do it all for them. I'm one of those leaders that has a few hobbyists on my team. So I know it's a lot easier if I just post, here's a new product, it's coming soon, which I will. I will post the product picture and I will post the cost and all of those things in our group page. But if they need more information, I'm like, okay, go to the news tab, go to the workstation, here's how to search. Don't do everything for them. And oftentimes I'll get a question, sometimes from the same consultant over and over and over. I'm like, you know what? That is a really great question to ask on our group page. Will you go there and ask that question to allow other people to answer? One more place that I don't have to always do it for them. Train. So many training opportunities out there for our people. You can train, but you don't have to do everything. There are other leaders out there who are always willing to share their knowledge. There's the training center, obviously an amazing wealth of knowledge that has tons and tons of training on there. There's Facebook pages. There's so many different Facebook pages. There's Facebook groups where your teammates, your leaders, they can all go and get training from different people. And sometimes we might hear something just like when we were kids and we heard something from our mom, but then our friend's mom told us and we're like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. And then your mom's like, yeah, I already told you that. Yeah, it's the same thing with your teammates. Sometimes hearing from you all the time, they just need something new. So don't be afraid to look outside of just you or even just you and your leaders. It's not a bad thing. It's actually an amazing thing to look outside of your group. There's also team gatherings. Sometimes you can't gather in person for whatever reason, whether all of your teammates don't live near you or could be other restrictions. Either way, we have Zoom. There's, so many different ways that you can gather, right? And that is a fun way to learn from each other. Your team gatherings do not have to have a whole lot of structure. You do not have to have a typed up training in order to have a team gathering. You could just simply go, hey, tonight let's talk about ways that you follow up with your customers and allow your teammates to teach each other. There's some really amazing things that I've learned as a very seasoned consultant just by sitting there and going, hey, let's talk about follow-up. What have you been doing? I'm like, that's a really good idea. I'm going to write that down and I'm going to do it. There's other places like books, podcasts, YouTube, again, social media. Utilize all of those things. You can have a book club. You can just post YouTube videos that you find from other leaders. Just post those and then anyone can watch those anytime. Again, you do not have to do it all. And be consistent. That's the only thing that I would really, 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 really drive home is consistency in training. Posting a video here or telling them to go here once a month is not going to help your team. But if you're consistent in having a team gathering once a month or once a week or every other week or even quarterly, and then supplementing with tips and tricks that you find that you want to post or videos or having a leader come on, as long as you're consistent most of the time that you have. Does that make sense? It does. Okay. Just train, get that information out there. Something that I've looked at over the years is we have a lot of hobbyists, right? And we really, really, really want to tell them, just get going with your business. What I've learned is I would rather have a very consistent hobbyist than a consultant that comes in guns blazing, gets her business, is rocking and rolling, and then quits within a year. Because after a year, she's not helping my business. She may have super helped me during that time that I needed. And obviously that consultant is still very important to my business, but don't knock out your hobbyists. Don't knock out those people that just haven't quite found their groove with their business, because long-term they can be a rock star. I've had several of those where they've been in 5 years and all of a sudden they're like, I am taken off with my business. I see it and I want that goal. So really help out those hobbyists. Give that consistent training and be there, which takes me into my last actionable item is support. All right, you want to give consistent support to your people. It can come in so many different forms depending on you as the leader. Some leaders offer texting only. I prefer texting. Calling. I know of some amazing leaders that are just on the phone all the time. They want to interact with their people via the phone. Facebook Messenger, only post on Facebook. It doesn't matter what kind of availability that you have, as long as you are available and your people know how to get a hold of you. Accountability. Whether it's an accountability buddy for your people, like you want to be the accountability buddy, or you match people up with their accountability buddies, or it's teaching them to be their own accountability buddy. This is where going back to listening is super helpful. For me, an accountability buddy will never work. I need to be my own accountability buddy. If you call me all the time and go, hey, have you done that? Have you done this goal? I'm out. Do not call me. Do not reach out. I just won't do it. But if I want the results and I want to hit that goal, I will be my own very best accountability buddy. So know what they need and how you can help them with that. Then give actionable items. So supporting your team is guiding, training, and then it can also be giving them actual actionable items like incentives. And an incentive that you give can be something super simple. An incentive just to even add to their paycheck, helping people realize that what they do in this month affects their paycheck next month. All of those things are actionable items. Do this to get this. Now, these steps all go hand in hand. It's not just, okay, I have a new person, so I'm only going to listen, then I'm going to guide, then I'm going to train, and then I'm going to support, and I'll just keep supporting until I get a new person. All of these kind of go hand in hand, and sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes you're listening, and then sometimes you're supporting, and then you go back to listening, and then you're going to guiding, and then you're like, wait, here's some training. It all just kind of flows together. There's no particular order, but having these things in mind can be super helpful in helping you become the best coach. Now, one last thing. In order to be the best leader and coach that you can be, you have to do all of these things too. Listen to yourself, guide, train. You need to keep adding to your bucket and your amazingness. Continue to learn, grow, remain coachable. It's the most important thing as a leader, is to remain coachable. Be willing to learn and grow from anybody. And keep trying. Listen to books, listen to other people's trainings, listen to podcasts. Just keep going and keep trying. Try to stay as consistent as you can. And if you get off the consistent bandwagon, just hop back on and keep trying. I believe in you. I know you are going to be, or already, the most amazing leader. And you will just continue being the most amazing leader and coach there ever was. I'm proud of you. And just keep rocking it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.